The Streisand effect is a very real thing. And it's a very interesting political perspective. And it's a political strategy. If you want people to stop talking about something, you stop talking about it yourself. Now, you can read that statement in one of two ways. And part of me sincerely wonders if part of the strategy of what's going on right now, which many attribute to be an unforced error, is Trump actually forcing the discussion on Epstein and Epstein documents by way of the attempt to tell everyone to shut up about the Epstein documents. But the bottom line, if you want people to continue talking about something, continue talking about how they should stop talking about it. It's the Streisand effect in the purest of forms. And as I was getting ready for this show, I had totally forgotten about it. The image of Beyoncé. And I literally put in Streisand effect images. And this was the first one that came up. I'm like, oh my goodness. I absolutely forgot about that image that allegedly Beyoncé didn't like and was trying to take off the internet. And it was the Streisand effect, the modern version. I'll tell everybody the history of the Streisand effect if they don't know about it. That picture from a Super Bowl performance. Apparently she was making every effort on earth to get it off the internet. This is the best meme I've ever seen about that photograph. The Streisand effect literally has its origins in somebody took an aerial photo of Barbara Streisand's property for a magazine or something. It was posted online. It got no views. I mean, literally virtually zero views. It was a drone aerial photo of Barbara Streisand's property. She then wrote like some letter of demand, threatened to sue the guy or whatever, herself blowing it up. And then that image went viral in ways that the original photographer could never have imagined. And if it was his intent, could never have hoped for. That's literally the Streisand effect. What we've been experiencing over the last 3 weeks is stop talking about Epstein, stop talking about Epstein. If you talk about Epstein, you're bad people, fake news. Some people have even gone one step further and say, if you say on this Epstein story, you are in fact the true protector of pedos because no administration has done more to protect children than the Trump administration. I think that's true. That is to say that the Trump administration has been very good in terms of going after pedos, human trafficking. Shutting down the border itself will shut down trafficking. I agree with that. The audacity to tell anybody that if you do not let up on the Epstein story, as implored by none other than the deputy director of the FBI, that you are the one protecting pedos, that takes balls and chutzpah. And chutzpah, I'm using it the right way. Robert Barnes, God bless his soul, I don't think he uses chutzpah in the right way. Chutzpah means gall, audacity, not necessarily courage. It takes balls, audacity, to look at someone who is doggedly pursuing the Epstein story and saying, your unwillingness to shut up about the Epstein story is in fact the true protection of pedos. That takes gall, chutzpah. But many people have noticed a shift in tone from a great many public commentators, analysts, vocal right-wing folk. I think Charlie Kirk, I don't fault Charlie Kirk. His video went viral. Like he says, I said my piece on Epstein. I'm going to move on and let the administration deal with it. I can understand that. At some point when you got nothing new to add, you stop talking about it because you just become a zealot. Every conversation turns out, what about Epstein? What about Epstein? What about Epstein? The administration is doing amazing work. Trump is doing amazing work. And but for this gaffe, we would be celebrating the amazing work. We can do two things at one time. Celebrate the amazing work and keep the pressure on for what has been a story of interest for the better part of a decade. But Mark Levin came out recently over the weekend and said, I'm done talking about Epstein. In some way, it's not a story of interest, which literally makes no sense. And what's amazing also is Streisand effect, the internet is forever. You don't need to know exactly everything that anyone has ever said on a subject in order to know how to find if they've said anything on a subject before. You go into X, you put in someone's account, and you put in specific keywords, and it will pull up, not all of them, but tweets that the individuals have issued on. It's how you get some of the most egregious hypocrites on earth. Julia Oliviana, that Democrat operative, said yesterday, I've never worked for it. Oh yeah, what's this? We have proof that you've worked for them? Yeah, well, okay. So I go to, Mark Levin puts out this video. It's the first second of it. It came from this weekend.
But I will tell you this. We better be united. We better be strong. We better be focused. We better be articulate. We can't waste our time on Epstein and other stuff that are going on here that some people want us to focus on. I've about had it with all that stuff.
Some people want us to focus on. That's Mark Levin. If it wasn't July 20th, I get nervous that I'm so meticulous. I'm fairly certain it was from July 20th, but over the weekend. Some people want us to focus on Epstein.
And other stuff that are going on here that some people want us to focus on.
That some people is an accusation and an insult, and it's a castigation. I don't know if that's the word. It's castigating people. Those some people who seem to want to talk. Oh, Mark, what was? Is this you on March 1st?
I've about had it with all that stuff.
Had it.
Welcome back, America. We're here with, and I'm very excited about this, Attorney General Pam Bondi, a good friend, especially a good friend of my wife, but a wonderful lady, a great lawyer. I want to get into this Epstein thing a little bit. I think the American people are very curious about who's on this list or these lists.
This is Mark Levin. Like March, April, May, June, July. Let's round it up to August. 5 months ago.
You have been doggedly trying to get all the information. And now we learn, thanks to you, that you've been stonewalled by people in New York. Do you want to explain that? But I assume the Southern District of New York is or has been holding on to this information for a reason. That is, they don't like the names on the list. And of course, we know New York is a hotbed of the Democrat Party, and that includes in legal circles. Do you think that's part of the issue here, that they're trying to protect a lot of names and individuals?
That is, people use the word gaslighting a little bit too flippantly and a little bit too inaccurately. That if I'm using the word gaslighting and I think using it appropriately, that is gaslighting. Some people, he doesn't understand why some people, dude, I'm not going to accuse you of having done it because it was the trending story at the time. You, Mark Levin, 5 months ago, who's on the list? They're stonewalling you because they don't like the names of the people on that list. Very interested in this story. I think a lot of Americans are as well. 5 months later, I don't understand why people are still talking about it. Like it's as though they forget that the internet is there and that the internet is forever. They're trying to make you believe the unbelievable. They're trying to pretend to your face that they themselves were not the ones who were not pushing a story in a negative sense, focusing on it because it was a story. And that's it. We're going to keep on this story because I think it's not going away. It can't go away. The way they're talking about it, the way they're dealing with it, I'm not sure that they want it to go away. That might just be a way to justify continuing to talk about it, despite the fact that there's a there. And when we now remember and refresh our memories that Maureen Comey, recently fired Maureen Comey, was the one who was at the SDNY FBI office. At the time, Pam Bondi was being stonewalled, and Mark Levin was saying, we're very curious as to who's on this list. Is it possible they're not disclosing it because they don't like who's on this list and they're trying to protect their own? 5 months later, sorry, don't ask any more questions.